everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Angel Storm. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm giving you 5 things to stop doing and 5 things that you can replace instead of doing those things. Especially these are behavioral traits that many people do when they are first leaving a narcissist. So if you have just separated from a narcissist, if you are even in the process of leaving a narcissist, especially if you're in family court, a lot of your drive, your determination, your will to get free can get worn down over time. So I want to give you 5 things to stop doing and 5 things to replace in those places of these 5 things that are actually harming your brain, causing you secondary and third order effects besides just the things that they're doing, right? So if we have one toxic habit, chances are that that thing has led to other toxic issues. And that's exactly what happens with these 5 things. So number 1, overthinking or toxic ruminating. I've talked a lot about this, going over things in the past, overthinking about, if this person says this, then I'm going to say this. And if they do that, I'm going to do this. This is a natural defense mechanism. And especially when you've been burned a lot of times by the narcissist, you feel like you really need to have every single move planned out. This leads to essentially analysis paralysis, where you overthink things and make them so complicated before they've even started that it really leads to nowhere. So instead of doing that, I talked a lot about making predetermined choices. I have several videos where I talk about how to exactly line those out, for you specifically, what predetermined choices can you make ahead of time. So make predetermined choices, but also commit to yourself. That's something that a lot of people who end up in relationships with narcissists are extremely loyal. They're very loyal. They do not want to, they probably go to the same gym that they've been going to for years. They just don't change things. Once they find something, they stick with it. What I'm asking you to do here is to make that same type of commitment to yourself first. I've said this many times on this channel, but once again, you cannot expect somebody to give you what you are unwilling to give to yourself. You need to show people how to treat you. So number 1, stop overthinking, stop toxic ruminating, stop trying to control everything, and instead make a commitment to yourself. Get your predetermined choices together, commit to following through with those predetermined choices, and understand that you're just not going to have every single step planned out. You can have the big things planned out for, but you're not going to have every small step planned out in advance. Number 2, stop living in the past. It's really important that people who are leaving narcissists don't think, well, I really wish it could have been like this. And then we don't spend time investing energy into the past. If things were supposed to be different, they would be different, right? If the narcissist cared, they would have made more of an effort. If they actually wanted something to change, they would have changed. What's really important is that you stop living in the past, you pay attention to reality in the present, but you also start dreaming. That's one of the things that's first to go when you're with a narcissist, is that your dreams go. What you have planned for the future, that goes. So start dreaming, start setting goals, and then start working towards them. Again, this is about being committed to yourself. This looks like something. And so I want you to start getting in the habit of asking yourself what you want for your life. This is actually going to come in handy with number 5 as well. Number 3 is fearing change. Everything is going to change. Things are going to happen. You're not going to be able to know every single step between now and where you want to eventually go, right? But when we fear what's coming, we get stuck. And not only that, it opens up doors for us to actually get pushed back further and further. This is why cycles don't end up being broken. This is why people continue to repeat the same types of behavior, even though they know that behavior is wrong or bad for them or harmful or whatever the situation may be. They keep repeating it because it's what they're used to. They're comfortable there. They fear change. And so stop fearing change, but instead understand also that anxiety and excitement feel the same in the body, okay? Your brain is lighting up in the same places as anxiety when you're feeling excitement. One of the things that you can start to do is to remind yourself that that you are a pioneer of your future. You are stepping into the unknown, and this is exciting because your future can become whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be the same year after year. It doesn't have to be the same story. You can do whatever you want now as you pioneer your future. So remind yourself that whenever you're feeling anxiety, that this feels the same way in your body and your brain as excitement. It's up to your mind to tell your brain and your body what you're feeling. Interpret it for it. So having that can really help you deal with anxiety in the moment. Okay, number 4 is doubting yourself. So again, a lot of people who are leaving a narcissist don't trust themselves. They don't trust that they can make good decisions or healthy decisions for their lives. When this is a combination of a bunch of things. Number 1, this is no doubt an effect of gaslighting and being told, a version of reality every day of your life that you've been with a narcissist. But also, when you look at big decisions, when you look at things like who you marry or what kind of job you are working at or where you're living, these are very big decisions that you make only a handful throughout your lifetime, right? And so when you find out like, hey, I actually don't like who I'm married to, I don't like where I'm living, I don't like my job, whatever the situation is, when you find one of these big decisions that's off, it can feel like you can't be trusted to make any type of decision ever. That's simply not the case. What you can start doing is understand that choices that you make on a day-to-day basis, so these small choices, they add up over time, and actually they are there to help prepare us for these big decisions that I'm talking to you about right now. Who you marry, where you live, what you do for a living, all that type of stuff is a result of these smaller changes that you made up on a day-to-day basis, sometimes without even knowing it. So instead of doubting yourself, what I challenge you to do is start tracking changes or decisions that you make during the day. So any small decision, what did you decide to wear? Was it appropriate for the weather? Were you comfortable all day? What did you decide to eat? Did you feel good after you ate that? Did you feel good throughout the day? Did you have enough energy? Whatever. These types of decisions are the small decisions that big decisions are resting upon. Okay, so I want you to do this for two reasons. One, I want you to see that you do make good choices, right? I also want you to have the evidence available to you so that this is not just something that you're telling your head, like, no, I can do it. It's not a mind game, but you actually have evidence for this. And number 2, I want you to see that when you are facing a big decision, that you have the evidence showing that these small decisions that you've been making every single day, multiple times during the day, have been adding up, and that you actually do have all the things, you are totally equipped to make that big decision in front of you now. And finally, people pleasing. This is a huge issue for people who are with narcissists, right? And for once in your life, I want you to ask yourself what you want, right? Without limits, without constraints, not thinking about what so-and-so would think of that or how so-and-so would react if you were to tell them that that's what you were going to do. But what is it that you want? As I said earlier, that commitment that you make to yourself is really going to help you with this. You need to understand that people pleasing isn't nice, and it's especially not nice to yourself. And going back to what I said earlier as well, you teach other people how to treat you. So if you're not willing to treat yourself actually kind, by telling people no, by telling people this is what I want for my future, for my life, and not allowing somebody else's opinion to sway you back and forth. Today I'm committed, tomorrow I'm not because that person doesn't like it, and so on and so forth. You're going to go nowhere with that type of mindset, with that double-mindedness. So stop people pleasing and instead dream. What do you want? Answer that question. What is it that you want in every area of your life? What do you want for your kids? What do you want for your career? What do you want for your physical health? What do you want for your spiritual development? Make a list of the things that you feel are important to you, and see if you're anywhere near the dedicated to that process that you need to be? How much time are you actually investing in these things? You know, I really want you to analyze what it is that you're doing. And if what you want does not line up with what you're actually doing, find the ways to make the change, be committed to them, get yourself a support system, and stop people pleasing and instead please yourself. You're a person too. You guys, thanks so much for tuning into this video. If it helped you, I want to hear the comments in the video below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and turn on the little bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel.